Welcome back to the channel. So last week we did something quite involved with the Basque cake, and this week we're going to go the opposite way and make something ultra simple. It is a chicken recipe called the poulet sauté à la minute that almost translates as the instant sauté chicken. So what that is, it is chicken that is pan fried and it is served just with the cooking juices that are flavored with shallots, a hint of wine, a dash of lemon juice, and a sprinkle of parsley. It is very much a kind of a Mediterranean kind of diet, very fresh, very tangy. You can serve it with a sauté potatoes with garlic or a fresh salad, but it is the perfect recipe if you want to do your first step in French cooking or if you really don't have much ingredients and want something fast. The fact of doing that little flavoring really adds something at the end that I think is really worth trying. Let's grab those pans and let's cook. Now it seems that a lot of people think that French cooking is always complex and takes almost the whole day when you want to make a recipe, but it is not always the case, as you can see with this recipe. So let's have a look. The instant chicken. What is the amount of work needed to prepare everything? You're gonna have to cut a lemon in half. Oof. I'm sure we can all do that. Cut a piece of butter. Pour some wine in a glass, about 50 milliliters. 1 tablespoon of oil, you can pour in a little container, and then you have to dice a tablespoon of shallots. That's it. For the decoration, at the last minute, you're gonna have to chop 2 or 3 twigs of parsley. And that's about it. The rest is just saute the chicken and make the sauce. So let's go on the stove and let's do this. And now let's begin the recipe. So we're gonna be cooking the chicken in a saute pan. This is a cast iron saute pan. I've put a tablespoon of olive oil in there. And we're gonna use a gentle, kind of medium to medium high heat because we're using a mix of butter and oil. So we don't want to burn the butter. So I'm going to wait for this to melt and then we're going to add the chicken. Now if you're not sure of the butter, make sure you start with a lower heat and then raise the heat if necessary. So I'm going to put all the pieces of chicken in here, and what we're going to go here is for a slow but steady kind of cooking. So a reasonable heat, like medium to high, but we're going to leave this to cook gently. We're going to leave it to color, so try to extract as much juices as we can. So we're going to start by a good 10 or even 12 minutes or more until the first side is really browned. Now I forgot to mention, but of course I've pre-seasoned the pieces of meat here. And how long are we going to cook this for? This is the big question all the time. It depends on the size of your pieces of meat. So instead of thinking time like it's going to take 15, 20, 25 minutes, the best is to use a food thermometer and to check the core temperature of your meat. The safe zone for chicken is 165 degrees Fahrenheit, which is about a bit more than 70 degrees Celsius. So this is the best thing to do. Buy a food thermometer, which is a device like this, that after 20 minutes or something, we're going to blend this in and we're going to check the temperature. That's going to tell us exactly how well done or not well done your meat is. And it is good for safety, but it also removes that trouble of thinking, oh, you know, is it cooked? You're not going to try to poke it with your hands. It is such a handy tool. So if you can, start using those because they're great. So here we are, after 12 minutes, let's have a look. And you see, my meat starts to brown. I've got a generous coloring, so I'm going to turn things over and continue to cook. And all what we want is to slowly extract those juices and caramelize them and transfer the flavor into our butter here. One thing you can do if you want to go the extra mile, it's a bit like in the restaurants, I'm adding a few twigs of thyme in the oil and butter. And if it gets too dry, the top from time to time, you can have your thyme here to flavor the butter and oil, and you can baste, you know, the whole lot. Let's avoid drying. So from time to time you can do this. You don't have to, but it's just the extra little touch. My meat has been in the pan here for about 23 minutes, and look at this, it starts to be over 70, 73, so that's it. I'm turning my heat off for now, and I'm gonna put all of these into a tray. We'll see why afterwards. And here we are. So we've sauteed the chicken, we've pan fried it, and this is the result. It's nicely colored. It is seasoned with salt, and we've got the juices in the pan. I'm gonna add some pepper now and put a foil over. And instead of throwing away this nice butter, we're now gonna flavor it to make the sauce. That's it. So now that the chicken is ready, what are we gonna do? We're not gonna throw away all of these because there's a lot of good stuff into it. We've got the caramel juices, you can't see them too much, plus the butter and oil. So I'm gonna put my heat back on to 6 because I know that was the number it was not burning. And then we're gonna finish by flavoring this. So we're gonna add some shallots, and we're gonna add some wine, and then some lemon juice. That's it. So let's bring this to the heat first. So step number 1, the shallots. In French cooking, always useful. They cook very, very fast, medium to high heat, and that is gonna flavor already everything, okay? And we're not burning those. We're gonna keep an eye on it. So what do we want next? We want to grab, I don't know if you can see when I do the streaks here, can you see these dry, caramelized brown bits? This is all of the taste that resides in my pan. And I want to catch that. But for this, we need a liquid. So this is where the piece of wine comes in. So a bit of wine. And we're gonna detach and capture everything to make a little juice. So after a minute or so to remove the acidity, we're gonna add some lemon juice. And that's the half lemon juice. And that's gonna be it. A final stir and how little instant sauce like this is gonna be ready. And it's gonna go perfect over the chicken with some parsley. Alright, so here we are. I've transferred all the chicken in a dish, and this is what you would have if you just want to cook chicken, right? Okay, it's a sauteed chicken. It looks alright, you know, it's flavored. You've got salt, you've got pepper, but then it can be a little bit boring. Here, with little extra touch, you've got the poulet à la minute. What we have is that lemony flavored butter with all of the juices, and all what I'm gonna do is to add the chicken jus all over there. It's nice and fatty. It's going to complement everything very nicely. You see these juices, how brown? And the final touch, that little sprinkle of parsley everywhere in a bistro style. You know, pop, 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 pop. You go there, and boom, your dish has totally transformed. It's beautiful. So here it is, the instant chicken, the poulet à la minute. Let's have a quick try. It's just a piece of chicken. I've got some extra juices, extra butter that we're going to pour over. I like to burn this lemon always to kind of, just give a bit of a Mediterranean style, and that's it. I'm just going to give you a little bit of an idea. So you can see first off, it's cooked. Not a problem in there. I'm going to bathe this in butter, and boom. You know what's amazing? How little things can improve, a dish. And the lemon mixed with the chicken juices, it really, really adds something. It's actually very good. So there we have it. This was the poulet à la minute, or aka I would call it almost the instant chicken, and honestly this little flavor brings a lot. It's just to show you that sometimes French cooking actually does not have to be complicated. It's just a matter of taking the effort of going the extra mile, and these little things are going to really improve your cooking. But I will leave you with this picture, and as always, if you have any comments, use the comment section. If you want to share your picture, use on Instagram the hashtag #MyFrenchDish, and if you want to support us, use Patreon or join one of our courses on the Culinary School. I'll see you all next week for another French cooking video. Take care all. Bye bye.